Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering how to spend your seasonal rift points because the season is ending pretty soon from what we know. So first things first, the flame rift season is probably ending soon. They said it's going to happen in May. We don't know exactly when, but it is May right now. So getting what you need from flame rift store is really important right now. Because the flame rift items are some of the most powerful items in the game currently. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the flame rift shop. We're going to briefly cover over when to farm flame rift and how to farm flame rift, and then we'll talk about exactly what to buy. One thing I need to talk about before we go into the items that you need and what you need to farm flame rift, you need to know when to farm flame rift. So as you see right now, we're in flame rift 7. This is the bare minimum for farming flame rift. But when you're early game, even mid game, and even getting a bit into late game, you're going to pretty much want to do 80% of your marks of the rift into flame marks. This just because that rifts will just give you better money until flame rift 14. So flame rift 14 is the big one that you just get a bunch of money from. Anything above that, you can start making the choice if you want to farm gems or do you want to farm gold. So there's that. Last thing I want to cover before we go to the shop is what build you want to be using for flame rift. So I've kind of hobbled together a build that you want to be using for flame rift 7 or above, and you can be upgrading this as well. Don't use these stats, of course. This is a very wonky build, but I kind of wanted to just quickly go over it. So you see the sword and the shield are pretty generic. It's what you're going to be using until you get flame rift stuff. The helmet is the basic gold helmet, which gives you some gold obtain. The drop in a ring, and the Emperor's belt gives you a Rift Advance rewards rate as well as gold, which gives you more seasonal points, and of course more gold, because Rift Advance rewards rate gives you more seasonal points. Then the last thing you're going to be using is the Razatory ring and the Frozen Ground boots. Razatory ring just gives you some penetration and also gives you some really good damage with this 2-set bonus, and the Freeze boots really increases your survivability because freeze rate is really broken in this game. So with that covered over, let's go and move over to the shop. All right, so we are now going to cover over the store. So to access the seasonal rift store, you're going to hit store right here. You're going to hit this tab, and then you're going to hit this icon right here, and that's going to open up the seasonal rift store. So the big thing you want to pick up are the melee items from the store, because melee is really broken this season. Now we do know that melee is going to get touched on in the next rift. But we don't know what's going to happen. Either melee is going to get nerfed a bit, or ranger and mage are going to get buffed. We don't know exactly yet. We've kind of gotten vague hints. But we're still going to recommend getting melee stuff because melee is just a really good class overall. So the first thing you want to get is the Fire God's Skull. Now this is the melee offhand. So the big thing from this offhand is the 2-set bonus. It stacks up these stacks and just does a bunch of damage. It's really insane, and also gives you some skill damage, and then on top of that it gives you extra boss damage and even skill cooldown reduce. It's just a really good overall shield, and it's pretty insane. And yeah, so what you're gonna look for in this shield is a 95% base or better, or you can go for a slightly lower base with a really good lines. Now what does a good line look like on a shield? I'm going to show you right now. So this is my shield. My base is not amazing, but it's a pretty decent base, and good lines are going to be crit rate as well as health recovery on attack 1%. Now mine's a little higher because I mythiced my item, so you want to reroll for that. And then also shield block is another really good one to have. So yeah, that's what you want in there. And of course, to reroll your items, you're going to need these reset scrolls that you can get with Infinity Essence or Quartz, which I can go over in a different video. But you can always ask the Discord if you have a little trouble with that as well. So the big things you want to get: crit rate 6% is nearly necessary, and also the health recovery on the attack. Now to find your base on your item, it's actually pretty weird. So you're going to divide this stat right here by this stat right here. So this is the base it can roll between, and this is the base of your item. So for me, you'd reroll 33,306 divided by 35,380, and that would give me my base. All right, and we're back in the store. Next thing you're gonna buy after you get a decent offhand is you're gonna buy two companions. Now these companions are really good. They give you shield block, which is a really insane stat that kind of pretty much, if you build for it, it gives you a permanent, I think, 60% damage reduction. Pretty nutty. and you're gonna buy 2 of them, but you're not gonna be upgrading them. So you're gonna leave them at B rank or D rank even, and you're gonna be using them for the shield block in PvP and also in higher level tiers. So this is what shield block is. You're gonna use these guys, Jeds, and if you want, you can use a war drum, but in PvP, you're gonna be using another Jed. All right, the last few things you're gonna be getting are gonna be the Flame Rift wings. These give you 2 times chance to disenchant. Kind of weird, really, but it gives you a 5% more chance to get double the things you'd get from disenchanting an item. So you get double the internal tokens and double the reified stones. A really good perk to be running when you're doing like a venture or like a rift. Next thing you're gonna be getting after that is the chest plate. Now the chest plate's over here, and this chest plate gives you the best gold obtain in the game. I don't think there's anything better than this chest plate right now, even from past events. So this chest plate is necessary for good gold obtain. And then if you have enough time, by this point you might not have enough time. The biggest thing you need, of course, is that shield. The companions and the rest of the stuff isn't as important, but it's still very important to get that shield first though. But if you do have enough time, you're gonna go ahead and grab every skin that you see here. So I've already done this, but you're not gonna buy the helmet unless you have a lot of time, which you don't at this point. The helmet isn't that great. I just bought it for my personal stat boost. Now let's say that you've pretty much bought all these skins and somehow you have enough time to get more Flame Rift points. That's awesome. So you can make 2 choices here. You can either buy these offhands for Ranger and Mage for just in case something happens with these classes and maybe the Flame Rift items are really good next season. We don't know. Or you can do what most players do and buy tier dungeon tickets, which gives you really good progression. So whichever one you want to do, never buy the internal tokens, and I wouldn't recommend buying these 2 things unless you're pretty late game. You know what you're doing. So yeah, that's what you're going to be buying. All right, I hope I covered what you need to buy from the Flame Rift store. I wish you the best of luck in farming, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.